Hey guys. My God. I got an A on my final. I did. I got an A, and I'm pretty happy about that. And so, I know it's been forever since I've said anything or posted anything, and I think it's just because I had a crazy week, to say the least. From everything going on with the news as far as Charlie Kirk, which we will be talking about that, to my psychiatrist appointment, which that's a story to tell, and down to an incident that happened over my weekend while I was at work, which that's another story, and I don't even know how I'm going to tell that story. I don't know. All I know is it's been a crazy week. Let's get right to it. First things first. I'll talk about my psychiatrist appointment because I think that's the easiest one. Well, I did my psychiatrist appointment. I haven't done psychiatrist appointments in forever. I don't even necessarily, honestly, I don't even like doing psychiatrist appointments just because I've had bad experiences. But to me, I've always been that type of person where, bad experience or not, I am going to still make the best of it, and I'm going to try again. Because I'm not a quitter. I am hungry at that too. Well, I eat gum when I'm hungry and I don't eat. Like, I chew on gum and I feel like I tell myself like it's a food, I guess. Like, I tell my brain that until I calm down on being hungry, and then I'll just take out the gum. Screw that. Okay. So, psychiatrist appointment. They wanted to get me back on meds. Long story short, I couldn't get back on meds because I have a drinking problem. So they wanted me to go to inpatient to get a detox from alcohol. So that way they can also not only detox me, but put me on medication, what they originally wanted to do. And the only reason why I would have to do a detox from alcohol is because you can't have alcohol while taking medication. Any medication, even more so for a medication for the brain. Anyways. Okay. Yes, they wanted me to take some medication. Yes, they wanted to put me on inpatient. I told them I can't do inpatient. They asked why. I told them because I have work in school I need to attend. They wanted to put me on a medical leave. And the inpatient is like for 2 to 4 weeks minimum. And I told them I can't do that. I was like, is it like where I go to the place, or like I'm stuck in the place, like a rehab facility type thing? And it's basically where you get like stuck in the place, like a rehab facility. And I was like, I can't do that. And they asked why. I told them I had dogs and I have a house. I own my own home. I live alone and I have dogs in that home with me. I can't do it. And they tried asking me if I had anybody and like to help me watch them and take care of the home. And I was like, no. The only people that my boy can be around, I was like, because my boy is not the friendliest, to say the least. I told them, I was like, the only ones that I can have come to my house, take care of my dogs with that responsibility. And at that, one that I would say like it would be like their responsibility too. So that way it's in a sense a better chance, I guess you can say, would be their dad. And I was like, and she was like, well, could you ask? And I was like, no, that's my ex. I was like, I am not going to complicate their life just because of me. Not happening. So she was like, oh. Basically wanted to get me into outpatient. My insurance does not want me to do outpatient. They want me to do inpatient. Whatever. Didn't work out. I even thought, okay, well, I mean, obviously they don't want to help me. It's a sign I should continue to drink. And I had to control myself. And I had to correct it. I don't know. I feel like that was like a downer. And I feel like, is this what other people go through? That's like my thoughts. Like, is this what other people go through that try to get help and either don't have the resources or don't have anybody that is willing to help just because of their insurance or whatever? It really put a downer on me. But then I was like, you know what? I can do this. So the whole time I was struggling with trying to find somebody that would help me out. Honestly, in my head, all I was like thinking was like, God, if this is not your sign, if this is not your sign, let me know. Let me do this. If this is your sign that I don't need these people and cut me off from this. Like, I don't let me waste my time. I really don't want to waste my time. I really don't want to waste anything. Like, I'm trying to get on the right path. And obviously no one wanted to work with me. I was like, whatever. And I was like, maybe, obviously, I need to put my trust in God and allow that to take its course with him. And so, obviously, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that rehab crap. I'm not doing it. So, that was that. Because my brain can't function. Basically, long story short, I'm just going to try to do it on my own with God. Like, I don't need any man. What are they going to do? Be like telling me stuff and like, I swear if they give me like man-made chemicals, which is man-made chemicals, like to me, I'm like, I don't know. I'm a very natural person with that stuff. And I don't know. I don't like that. Call me a weirdo or whatever you want to call me. I don't care. Anyways, that happened. I was supposed to go to the Chris Brown concert. I had gotten tickets. And I had to work my butt off to sell them. Because of a situation that happened. Number one. Number two, I already didn't want to go, honestly. And I was only going because I had already bought the tickets for me and other people to go. And I wanted just to have like a good time with those other people and to have like, let them have a good time. Let them be happy. Let them experience some fun. And I don't know, I just wanted to do something nice for other people and not worry about like me with my feelings and how I wanted to do it. And, you know, I was letting boundaries being crossed for that. And long story short, I had a situation happen. I had done something nice and basically gifted somebody something. And the very next day after them enjoying their gift was a situation that happened while I was at work. And it was in my home. And not only was my home affected, my peace was affected, and something that I been working for a long time to not let anybody ruin my peace or affect it in any way. So my peace was disturbed. And above all, my dogs had an effect from it, and that's something that was not going to slide with me because my dogs are my babies. I don't have a baby, a human baby on earth here. Like, it's my dogs. And like that, they're the reasons why I own my home. Like, the reasons why I'm doing all this in the first place. So that happened, and I was at work. And if you guys know me, I really don't like crying in front of anybody. Like, I am not one to do that. I will turn my tears into anger, or my tears into like just smiling and trying to laugh it off. And basically, like, I'm at work, I'm stressing out, and I'm trying not to cry. And I had to get other people involved. And no, I did not get law enforcement involved. So if you guys try to ask if I got law enforcement involved, no. I'm surprised nobody else did, but I think because they're like me. I didn't get it involved because, number one, I wasn't worried about the whole snitches get stitches, even though I do kind of go by that. I don't like to get law enforcement involved because of that, but also because, to me, I don't think the people needed that problem on their own. Like, although, don't get me wrong, the people deserved it highly, like, really deserved it. And honestly, I think if it wasn't by like the grace of God giving me that love, honestly, I can put this down. I am a very petty person. I'm very petty, and I'm mean, and I've been called evil. I have done some really, really, really mean and hurtful things to people, where I would basically I can easily ruin your life. Like, I give you a record, like, give you more problems, like, just to be petty. And I obviously, like, I was told by other people, multiple people, and I mean multiple people that were involved, people that were showing basically that they're on their side type thing, if that makes any sense. I don't know how to word it. Even though those people even had said I should get law enforcement involved and basically call the cops. And even though they said that that's not what I want to do, I don't feel like, like, I don't feel like that's needed to do that. And I mean, it stressed me out. Don't get me wrong, it stressed me out. I did have to end up getting my ex involved just because of the dogs. And by all means, did I have a struggle fighting with myself to even call him up and get him involved. And my main worry was the dogs. My main worry was my boy. And because of my boy, I was like, he needs to get involved, because if he can't be with me because of the situation, he needs to be with his dad. Like, there's nobody else. Like, I've never had this situation that I couldn't, obviously do anything about it type thing, because it was already done. And I had to take action and get other people involved, and obviously myself get involved. Of course I get involved. I'm the I'm the homeowner, and I am the owner of my dogs. So, and it's affecting me. So that squared away. I was like, you know what? My peace is ruined, and if this is basically to me, the way I took it was, if this is the things I get for doing something nice and without a care, and I'm getting disrespected constantly, and I'm getting attitude and stuff like that, I don't need to, although don't get me wrong, I didn't do it for anything in return. I did it out of the kindness of my heart. And if you can't be kind as well, at least, and respect at least, then what am I doing something nice for you? So obviously, and to me, I'm like, if I cut people out of my life for a certain time, for my own peace of myself and my dogs, I'm gonna cut anybody off for my peace. And I'm gonna cut them off, especially if that has to do with my dogs getting involved. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to be like, I learned my lesson from past situations. I'm not going to be like, oh, okay, well, let me cut you off for good. It's like, no, I need my space. I need to regroup myself. And with you around in that time, it's not going to work for me. It's not going to happen for me. So basically, I need to get myself some time to regroup. I had to sell my tickets because I was like, this whole thing's off. Like, I'm going to hold everybody that is involved fully accountable as accordingly. And like I was told, this is basically, in a sense, this is what I get for allowing it. Like, I allowed it, and this is what happens when you allow things. So I know I didn't think that this would ever happen because it's not something I would ever do. But I did allow, like, this type of thing. I didn't put a hard boundary in before, and I can understand why others do. And at first, I did not want to be that person that made somebody feel like, upset, or I didn't want anybody to feel anything certain, and to me, I need to not care how other people feel. I can respect others, but I can't be walking on eggshells when it comes to that. So I think after that, from situations, I'm Gucci. So when I still have to fix these issues, and I'm giving myself time, and I'm not going to force myself into that. I'm not going to stress, because I've already stressed enough. I'm not doing that again. Anyways, that's why I did not. Well, that's why I canceled the Chris Brown. That was like the when you what is it called? The straw that broke the camel's back, or like the cream on top, the cherry on top. There you go, the cherry on top, or cream on top. I mean, obviously I was doubting wanting to go just because of I did not want to feel like I was idolizing or worshiping another human being. It was also that broke it and was like, if this is not a reason to not go, then what is my reason? Like, at what point, when does it stop? So obviously I did that. And yeah. I still am trying to wrap my head around exactly everything, like the situation that happened. I'm trying to wrap my head around the thought process of not only myself but others. And I think I'm trying to just get by because I've had already an overwhelming week with the whole thing, from Charlie Kirk situation to my psychiatrist wanting me back on that stuff and basically telling me she doesn't understand why they haven't done that before. So I was like, damn, what did I do? What did I say wrong? um, to obviously that happening. And you know what? Just keeping my faith. And you know what? Like, in a sense, to me, I think all things work for good in the end. And I think, you know, like, to me, that whole time everything was going on, the whole time from the whole Charlie Kirk thing to the psychiatrist to that incident going on, like, to me, I am grateful that all I could do was not to forget to pray during that whole time that was going on. I prayed during the whole Charlie Kirk thing. I prayed because of the whole psychiatrist thing. And I prayed during that whole time. Like, while I was in the middle of every situation, I still prayed. And honestly, that's what kept me at its most peace and kept me with the most intention of love. Because honestly, if it wasn't for me praying and, you know, asking God for the grace that He has, that He's put on me, asking for me to be able to put that on other people, but yet still obviously you hold them accountable and hold everything accountable, but you judge righteously and you judge with love. And I think if it wasn't for God, honestly, I probably would have been like, I would have lashed out. I would have been like, screw everything. I probably would have went off and did whatever. I probably would have just been like, I would have lost it. I probably, during that whole situation over the weekend, I would have probably gone violent. Not probably, actually, I would have really gotten violent. And I would have went and acted on my old ways instead of like my new ways. And even Galatians 2:20, I am a new creation as well. I gotta die to my sins and carry my cross and follow Jesus. I think that's what really helped me out, which is nice. And not just nice, but which is beautiful. But y'all know what I mean. And I don't know. I feel like that was insane what happened. Crazy week. As far as the whole Charlie Kirk thing, I was in class when I got the news. And when I got the news, because I am a huge follower of Charlie Kirk. I am a huge follower of Candace. I do support Trump. I am a Trump supporter. So for those that don't like it and don't want to hear it or let political views or religious views or any type of views affect watching me, that is fine. I don't mind. I don't have an issue if you guys unfriend me and follow me, whatever the hell it is, if you guys know me. But yes, I am a conservative. I voted for Trump. I did. I do like Charlie Kirk. I like Andrew Tate. I like Candace Owens. Like, a lot of the ones that you guys don't really like, I like. Okay? I believe a lot of the things that they believe. I know a lot of people, you know what, when it comes to abortion, I know a lot of people will attack Charlie Kirk on abortion, and that's mainly majority of what they have to say is abortion. Some people, yes, they call him racist. They have called him a bunch of other names They've called Candace Owens that. They've called even Andrew Tate misogynistic. And I can guarantee you a lot of people don't even know what that means. And they still yet use that word. They call Trump a lot of things. I don't agree 100% everything on what everyone agrees or says. But I don't think anybody could ever, and not just me, but anybody in general. My hair is knotted. And it irritates me when my hair is knotted. But it's always knotted at this point, no matter how many times I brush it. Off topic. But honestly, guys, whether you agree with me or whether you agree with somebody else or not, doesn't give anybody the right to act violently or against them. You don't need to be disrespectful to other people just because of that. And as I told everybody on my social media was, if I see any hate or like somebody making fun of Charlie Kirk's death, I will gladly not fight with you. I will just block you. I have already done that to people that I have been friends with. I've done that to anybody. I will do it to family. I will do it to friends, and nobody is an exception. To me, I say if you can make fun of somebody's death or be proud that they're gone, to me, like, that's evil. That's negative energy. I don't want it around me. I don't want that energy. And that is my main thing. When I was in class, I had gotten the news. And by all means, I did have to, like, I had to stop class. I had to, like, give myself a second. I did not leave the class session. I just had turned off my camera, because my mic was already off. And I was like, you know what? I did start crying. I started crying. And I was like, is this real? Is this real? Like, tell me this is not real. And it turned out to be real. And I did reach out to someone that also supported and followed, like, Charlie Kirk. And we would always talk about him. We would always be, like, watching his videos and all that. And so I reached out and I was like, did you get the news? And I was like, I don't know, my brain just, it couldn't comprehend what happened. And then, like, my thing was, is he alive? Is he not? Like, and I didn't even see the video at the time. I didn't know what happened. All I saw was he got shot. That's all I saw. I did not see where. I did not see any of that. I was more like, what the heck? And I ended up finding out, obviously, he was unalived due to that. And I think once I found that out, I broke and I cried. And I think, like, part of me did want to be like, this dude deserves to pay. This dude deserves suffering. Like, he did deserve it. If it was even him. Because honestly, I don't feel like he was the only one that acted out alone. And so, of course, my thoughts when I felt that way, I was like, you know what? If anybody's going to know, if anyone's going to think the same or, clarify for me, it's going to be Candace Owens. Best believe I got on her stuff and I started, like, being like, let me see this information. And I'm not the only one that doesn't believe that it was only this guy. Oh, I'm not the only one that doesn't believe that. And I mean, if you guys want to be gullible and not actually look into everything, I honestly, my first thought when everything happened was the government's in on it. That was my reaction, was the government was in on it. I was like, somehow, some way, this is just because obviously he did not agree with abortion. And to me, I think the government tries to push abortion. They try to make society make it look like the people that don't agree with morals are the ones that are crazy or they're hateful or whatever the thing is. And it's like, no, it's just we know what right from wrong. And I think because Charlie Kirk was I gotta say, the best person to debate anybody because he came with facts and he had done his research and stuff. I feel like a lot of people did not like that. And what do people do when they can't prove you right or wrong? They can't prove you wrong. And they're wrong. A lot of people get mad. And what happens when people get mad? A lot of times, violence happens, or you start saying hateful things yourself. As coming from someone, myself, that has done that, where when I was younger, I would get mad because I was wrong, and I would go to violence and hate. It's not worth it, guys. It's not worth it. It's not like it's something you hold it within yourself. And at the end of the day, you got to take a look in the mirror and be like, is this even right? Is this right that I'm doing this? And you can't justify yourself. You can't try to get some validation from other people. Because there's a lot of people in this world that are going to tell you that you're right or whatever, and it's like, regardless, what wrong is wrong. And the way I explain to people when they tell me about Charlie Kirk is, or anybody when it comes to being wrong is wrong, because people are like, well, that's different. No, it is not. Wrong is wrong, and this is the way I like to tell people. If you have kids that are fighting, and one person punches somebody, is the puncher, they're punching the person, the other person's slapping. And you get after them and they're like, I didn't punch them, but I slapped him. I only slapped him, I didn't punch him. Or the other kid saying, like, I didn't slap them, I punched them. Regardless, you put hands on somebody. Regardless, you acted out physically. And it is wrong. Both of them are wrong. Wrong is wrong. You don't tell somebody, well, that person didn't punch you, they slapped you. But at the end of the day, okay, well then, let me slap you and see how you like it. Like that type thing. So, I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of stuff with the whole Charlie Kirk thing, and I've been following in on it, and don't get me wrong, a lot of it in the beginning was giving me really bad anxiety. I think I got more anxiety just because it was an act of violence with the shooting. And I don't live in like the best place. In fact, honestly, I don't even like the city I live in. I like the other city that I used to live in. But gotta do what you gotta do, right? I had seen on the news like a threat for a shooting in a school. And of course, that school had somebody that I love in that, and I think that just amplified my anxiety. And don't get me wrong, I had to reach out to someone, and I was freaking out. And honestly, I was willing to go against whatever that person said and whatever anybody else said. And I was ready to go and be like, I don't give a crap, I'm gonna kidnap type thing. I did not do that. But yeah, that has been my day. Or not day, but week. And I don't know. If you guys want to prove me wrong on something, fine. I don't care. Prove me wrong. I'm going to start using that more often. Just prove me wrong. Because it's true. Prove me wrong. And I think, obviously, if you guys don't like what I say, free speech. That's our First Amendment, right? Like, come on. As far as, I don't know if you guys have seen, but Trump is banning transgenders from owning any guns, which is the Second Amendment right. Now, I think it's funny that a lot of the people that voted to not have guns are violence, blah, 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 this and that, you know, to get rid of that, which is get rid of our Second Amendment that's been going on for years. I think it's funny that those are the people that are getting mad and using the Second Amendment and being like, he's taking away our rights, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, what happened to not wanting them in the first place? Just because it's you guys? Like, look at the stats, bro. Look at the stats. How many people are like that? I went to Palm Springs. And while I was in Palm Springs, obviously, I was like, well, there's a LabCorp. I had to take my blood. Bruh, tell me why I got very uncomfortable. I got uncomfortable because I wasn't used to seeing, like, it's not common for me to see people who are transgender. And no, I did not, like, say anything to them. I did not look at them weird. I just acted like I'm seeing just everybody else in this world. But yes, I did feel uncomfortable. I had walked in, and I mean, for those of you guys that know me in my past, I obviously have been bisexual. And from somebody who has obviously had a past with that, I got uncomfortable. I did. I was like, ooh, like, I'm not comfortable here. I did what I had to do, and I left. I mean, if anybody knows Palm Springs, California, you guys know that's a city of that, what is it? The LGBT, whatever. I don't know what it's called. The LGBTQ. Yeah. And then whatever else you guys are adding on to that stuff. I don't know what you guys are adding on to that stuff. And honestly, to me, I think it's just all gay stuff. It's gay. Like, lesbians are gay. Women and women. It's gay. Gay is gay. I mean, it says right there, like, you know, lesbians, gays. And then bisexual, well, if you're liking women too, it's gay. You're gay. I'm gay. You know what I mean? Let's clarify. I'm not bisexual anymore. I'm just straight. If you guys want to put that label on it, I just like, obviously, the opposite sex. And what is it? LGBT? If you're transgender, if you were whatever race, or not race, whatever sex you were born into, let's say if you were born a guy that's transitioning, whatever the word is, into a female, male transitioning into a female. Think about this. If you like guys because you're a female now, okay, I'm putting those quotes, a female now, wouldn't you be technically gay because your original sex is a guy? And then if you want to say, okay, well, I'm a male transitioning into a female, but I like females, well, then wouldn't you be considered gay as a female into females? And at that point, if you're into females, why not just be a male into females? Like, I don't know. That is just my opinion on that part. But I mean, it is a fact that you're still a male. It is. You got your X and Y chromosomes attracted to somebody else that is an XY chromosome. You would technically be gay if you think about that. I don't know. Alright, don't get me wrong. I've had some transgender friends. Some I don't have anymore. Some I still do, which to me, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to judge you based off your sexuality. I'm going to judge you based off your character. But I will not let your delusions mess with my delusions. Like, I'm not going to let you lie to me and try to tell me something that is not. So, it's not with hate. It's just, hey, coexist. Just don't do that to me. And don't try to tell any kids that. If I had kids, I'd be like, bro, I support Jeffree Star when he's talking about that stuff too. Like, I was just seeing a video and it's true. That's what I really support Jeffree Star on that, because Jeffree Star is a male and living in reality that likes makeup, likes to do hair and nails and stuff, and just has a passion into the fashion. And yet still lives in reality and knows that he is a male that just likes all this stuff. And if even Jeffree Star can tell you that there's no they and them, you can't talk to yourself as a third person. You don't refer to yourself as a third person, people. If even he says it, then what the heck? I don't know. I think it's funny. I think it's funny that people think that we are just going to be like, all right, 2 plus 2 is 5. That's what it is. 2 plus 2 is 5. I don't know. I think that's funny. People think that I'm gonna actually go along with what they say. Now it comes to like anything, like I don't believe certain things with sexuality. I don't believe certain things even with religion. Like other people's religion, you gotta back it up. And honestly, I think that's why I like like Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, like Andrew Tate, Jeffree Star, Trump, because they live in a world of reality. Whether we have differences or not, we live in a world of reality. I don't know. This generation's corrupt. I was born in the wrong generation, honestly. It's okay. But I went to church yesterday. And my gosh, was I hungry. I'm sorry, I was hungry. I was really hungry. And all I wanted was Chick-fil-A. And I even told my mom. I was like, Mom, I can't help it. Like, I'm really, really, really hungry. And I mean, of course, we were listening to the book of Ezra. It was nice. I didn't get there on time because obviously I was trying to go to the bank. And the banks weren't working with me. The banks were not, like, taking my money. And it's funny because I got the money from a bank. And the bank is not taking my money. Make it make sense. I should honestly I'm not going to go to the bank. I was going to. I'm not going to do it. I'm not doing it. But I'm telling you guys, I'm just too happy I passed my exam right now, honestly. Like, I just keep thinking about that. But you guys let me know what you think when it comes to political views, because I'm really into politics. I like that. And not like in a way of, you know, like how they say like the left and the right. I consider myself into the right. Or not like conservative or liberal, even though I'm a conservative. I like politics because I like to see other people's views and debates. Like, I don't know, I've always liked debating people. I've always liked that. And I don't know. Let me know your guys' views on political views. If you guys want to let me know on religious views. You guys I've been hearing a lot from countless people having bad experiences, because I'm Christian. They come and tell me that they've had their bad experiences with other Christians. Now, I understand a certain degree, and I've had my bad experiences with Christians. I've had my bad experiences with a lot of different things. And I mean, I like to kind of give people an insight on coming from a Christian who's had a bad experience with other Christians. And to me, all I'm hearing is a lot of people feeling judged. A lot of people feeling like the Christians are very hypocrites, and there is a lot of hypocrite Christians. I'm not gonna lie. There is a lot. And I've heard a lot of experiences of people saying basically they don't want to go back into experiencing that just because of their experience. And to me, I always take it as look at it like a heartbreak. When you get your first heartbreak, do you just not ever want to be in love with anybody ever again? Or does it feel like that at first, but yet eventually you try? Majority of the people will say eventually they try. I know. Eventually, like, oh, I've had my heartbreak, and then this is how I found my husband. Or people will be like, now I'm in a relationship with this, like they have an ex, or like I just had my first heartbreak and now they don't want to try it all for a while. Those that don't want to try it all in general, I think honestly, don't be so scared. It's like with anything, you fall off the bike and it's not like you're never going to ride the bike again. You can't live your life in fear. Same thing as a job. You lose a job, are you going to go get another job because you have to support yourself? Or you're going to just be like, I'm too scared to get a job. You know? Stuff like that. Now, as far as you guys not feeling loved, or you guys are feeling judged, or you guys are feeling that they're hypocrites, the way I see it is a lot of Christians need to come with love. They need to be able to show the love of Christ. Now, to me, I see it as we are still human as well, and we still make mistakes. You are going to run into Christians that make a mistake and mess up just like any other human, you know, and just because a human accidentally does something to you, are you going to hate all humans over that one human? is the way I take it. And I know there's probably you come encounter with a lot of them. Majority of them is all you see. Keep in mind this world is very, very big. Just because you see a group of somebody does not mean everybody is the same. And also what I like to tell people is even Jesus himself had gone through that. He had gone through he'd gone through obviously other people that were like religious, supposedly. He's gone through them telling them stuff. And treating him horribly. Not once did Jesus bash God, shall I say, because of that. Didn't he on the cross be like praying for God to forgive them for they not know what they've done? Yeah. Basically what I like to tell people, and I always like to try to, when I hear that stuff, I'm like, well, I'm not perfect, but let me show you what it is when it comes to that. Like, there's a lot of things I'm not perfect on. If you guys know me, I talk a lot of crap on everything and everyone, every race, every sex, every whatever. And a lot of times I do it worse than what I am trying to say. I will say it sounds a lot meaner. I've had that problem before. But when it comes to like even religion, yes, I do know that there is people that are bad. But also I take it as, and I try to share my experience. That's my best way, is not telling people, you need to do this, you need to do that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know what they need to do, and they're just, like, they're not looking for you to tell them that. And yes, people know, like, yes, we want to help them and saying how to, like, to repent. But at the same time, to me, I take it as that's God's job to work on their heart. That's not our job. We plant the seed and we let the rest happen with God. And yes, if they want to, work more and come out more and ask you things and stuff, of course, like, share your knowledge, share what you know, or share your experiences on from you. Never tell them that's the way. I wouldn't say like telling them, no, this is the only answer, because you might be wrong. And even 2 Timothy, was it 2 Timothy 2, chapter 2:15? If I'm not wrong, don't quote me this because I'm trying to remember. But it's telling us to, at least when I read the King James version, there's also the other versions, but study to show yourself approved in the eyes of God. If you're not knowing your Bible 100%, and at that time, you can read your Bible a million times, and each time, it'll tell you something else. God will tell you something different, and he'll show you something. And the only way to really speak to God is through his word, which you need to be in your word if you want that relationship, because that's how he's able to really communicate with us. And you have to not only just read it and accept it. Yes, you read to accept, not just to understand, because as you're accepting it, God will show you different things all the time, because God's knowledge is infinite. But like, I mean, you also read to kind of like, I'm going to say it in an easier way for it, but you read to allow God to speak to you. You can't really read to really understand. And of course, you learn different things every time he speaks to you. It's like in a relationship with anyone else, You got to look at a relationship with God as to the way you want your dream relationship with somebody else, And I don't know, that's just the way I take it. I like to share my experiences, and I on other things I will, but I don't know. That's how I like to be able to be open-whelming, or not open-whelming, open welcoming to people, is by showing them my experience, showing them like this is where I came from, and this is where I'm at, and this is where I hope to be. And not me choking. I'm just kidding. I'm not choking. I still got the gum. But my throat gets really dry really easily. I don't understand. But I don't know. That's my perspective on that when it comes to religion. And I feel like when it comes to religion, especially with I like to kind of understand other religions. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to learn, and I'm open to hearing what goes on with their religion, because I don't know. I'm even still learning my own religion, even though I've been a Christian all my life. But I don't know. I always tell people that. I tell people it's never too late, and you can't let somebody else dictate your life, your story. Like, they're not the ones writing your story, and I don't know. If you guys are open to chatting about that or whatever, let me know. Y'all can message me if you guys personally know me. If you don't, I'm assuming, I guess, just comment. But please don't comment. I don't read my comments, honestly. I don't read anything. I don't even read that stuff when it comes to social media. I don't know. I'm like one of those people. I'm like, here, let me just share to you. And then you guys, if you guys need to, direct message me. Don't comment. Sometimes I don't even like when people like my posts. I'm like, this is just for you guys to see. But that's been going on. That's been my perspective this past week. Also, I am tired of worrying about what other people have to say, or worrying about making people feel uncomfortable. Like, I'm not trying to make you feel uncomfortable. I will speak my truth that I know, and I will learn every day. Show me your perspective on things. Show me your point of view. Prove me wrong. And I don't know. I like to see other people's perspective. I used to like really enjoy, and I still do. I'm not going to say used to. I still do enjoy when I have deep conversations with people and getting to know, like, in their mind. Not to do anything, but to kind of like open up and see. But I still stand on my beliefs. To me, I say if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for everything. You know? If you got nothing to live for, you better find something to die for. And that's Tupac right there. I still like Tupac. I'm a Tupac person. West Side. Anyways, enjoy my week. I don't know when I'm going to do the next video, because I don't know when I'm going to have time. But I barely had time to do this today. And that's because I got done with my test in 2 hours. I got 8+, guys. And yeah. Oh my God, I forgot to say. So I went out and I did not drink. And that's very, very, I think that's only ever happened to me once before. So I'm excited. I'm excited. You guys let me know your guys' mind. I don't know. I like to listen to, or know what people think. That's something I like to know. So you guys let me know what you guys think. And if not, that's fine. I'll just tell you guys what I think. And if you guys don't want to hear it, that's fine. You guys don't have to watch. Simple as that. Let me know. Maybe I might do like a live or like an interview with somebody. I don't know. I'm trying to work on that. I'm broke, bro. I'm broke. Especially even more so now, I'm broke. You guys give me some more resources on other things, okay? You guys have a good day. Rest of your week, or whenever I see you guys next time. Just enjoy yourselves. Much love. Oh, wait. People do like that. I just know Johnny Chang does like that because I like to watch him. But okay, bye guys.